divas, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. As you can see here, I've got a little Rainbow High Diva doll unboxing. I got the Rainbow High Sparkle and Shine Misty doll. She is a Target exclusive, and I literally have not been to that damn store or like gotten anything from there literally in like a while, just because like of all the boycotting and whatnot. But since she was like, an exclusive, I literally just, went out of my way to get her because it's not like I can find her anywhere else, and I have been looking for her ever since she came out. And once I found out that she was a Target exclusive, I just, waited and waited until I couldn't, like, wait anymore, you know what I mean? I was thinking about getting her on eBay, but the prices were, like, really out of whack, and, like, why would I just go to eBay for a doll that I could literally get in stores, you know what I mean? So, that's all I have to say about that. But here we have the front of the box, as well as all of the logos and all of the really cute, like, sparkly holographic, like, packaging design and whatnot, with, like, the little rainbow and whatnot. And it just says Misty right over here in the corner, and it's got a little gem. And we've got the little Sparkle and Shine logo right here, plus the QR code and more of that stuff over here. Plus the window into just the gorgeous display of her inbox. I really do love the background. It looks like she's just standing in like her bedroom or something, and like as you can see in there you have the wallpaper and like the border and like a bunch of like the regular like household items and like just anything, especially like all the other things like attached to her wall, which is really cute. But as you can see, she comes with all of that pictured right over here. And she's just got this really, really gorgeous artwork right over here. And I've been wanting this doll ever since she came out because I think she's just giving like black alt perfection in like the best way, you know what I mean? I love it whenever they portray the darker skinned characters or characters of color in any line, to be alternative and to look just like this, you know what I mean? I feel like we never really see like edgy like or alternative like doll designs these days. And I feel like when we do see a little bit of it, it's only like the white girls that get to be the edgy alternative ones, or like the pale skin dolls, you know what I mean? And I just like that she looks like, every other alternative baddie that I'm like seeing all over Instagram and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of just giving like Willow or whatever, or just like Fifi Dobson in my opinion. But like, yeah, got that gorgeous artwork and more of the logos right over here. Not really anything on the side. And then when you go to the back of the box, it just says Rainbow High Sparkle and Shine. And then we have little text right over here that just says, meet your new magical friends that sparkle and shine from the inside out, in multiple little languages. And we've just got all of the rest of the girlies over here. I saw somebody on Instagram calling this doll Y2K, and like I literally clutched my pearls because what the fuck do you mean Y2K? This is obviously like a futuristic, like very cyber kind of like sci-fi looking look. I think people just like to talk out of their ass and say that anything is Y2K these days when they don't really know anything about fashion. And yes, I did just say that. Moving the fuck on. Got more of this gorgeous little background in the front of her box. And the Rainbow High logo right over here. And in the next clip, she's just going to be unboxed. We've got the diva herself out of her box, as well as all of her little things that she's come with. I forgot to mention this before, but this is literally a gimmick doll, and her gimmick is just that she's like one of the Novi stars, you know what I mean? Her legs can do this like really cool thing with like, I guess the liquid, and like it almost looks like a lava lamp or whatever. Very cutesy, very cool. I would have still gotten this doll if, the line wasn't surrounded like, I guess around this gimmick, but like I said before, I think she's just like alternative like perfection and like a doll, you know what I mean? I feel like companies don't do alternative dolls the way that they really should, but MGA knocked it out of the park again. I just wish that she wasn't a Target exclusive because, like I said, been boycotting that place and I really wanted to keep that going, but of course they, leave the alternative doll of color to be the exclusive over there, you know what I mean? Just to shade everybody. But starting from the tippy top of her head, she's just got this kind of like little wraparound ponytail, like half up, half down thing going on, and it's kind of like this very like electric, like turquoise teal blue with like really dark blue streaks. I do remember seeing this like these two colors in like the very first Skylar Bradshaw doll ever, way back in 2020 when those original dolls came out. And she's got all of these little micro braids right over here at the top. I do have to fix like a little bit of like, I guess, the part line and whatnot, because there's some like little like messy hairs or whatever, but apart from fixing that, I think it's like completely perfect. And as you can see here, she's got her little like sculpted on painted baby hairs, which is very, very pretty. And before I move on to her makeup, I'm just gonna address the cuntiness in her very, very like skinny looking, like, I guess, Y2K revival eyebrows, if that makes any sense to y'all. Very, very sharp, very, very thin, and very, very cunty, if I do say so myself. And her hair is this, you know, very nice, long, soft, like high quality, like kiwi nylon or whatever that everybody adores these days. I adore it too, honestly. It's definitely my favorite of like, it's definitely my favorite quality of the nylons, to be quite honest, you know what I mean? And she's just got the rest of her hair up at the front kind of pulled back, and these little tendrils that kind of just like fall down or whatever. It's very, very cutesy. And she is a rainbow high doll, so she does have those real eyelashes on. Looks like she has little falsies, and it's very, very cutesy. They did end up giving her this kind of like violet, like purple, or like, no, not violet purple, but like really dark blue and like light blue eye color. I think it would have looked really perfect with like a very bright, expressive brown eye, but like that's just me, you know what I mean? The blue eyes do make this doll look very, very striking though. And she's just got on a little beauty mark right over here. And she seems to have this really like sharp, angular, kind of like winged out smoky eyeshadow, and it's just kind of in this like really like slate gray color. And it kind of carries down like into like her waterline, or like underneath rather. And it's very, very cute, and like I said, she looks very edgy and alternative, and I really do love that about her. I can't tell if she has any blush on her face. If she does, then it might just be the most like lightest like tone or whatever. The flash is doing her really well, her face I mean, because like the camera just looks like she has highlighter on like her nose, underneath her eyes and whatnot, but she obviously doesn't. It's just the shine from her plastic. And then moving on to these little diva lips over here, it's kind of giving like a variation of like Bratz live in concert, like, what is it, Jades, if I'm not mistaken, or that's kind of what it looks like to me. But it's just this like very dark brown lip liner with this like kind of like turquoise glittery like sparkly tone. It looks very, very cutesy. I had a shade of, I think it was Maybelline lipstick back when I was in high school, like more than a couple of years ago. It wasn't this exact shade, but it was like just a little bit more greener, but it's very, very cute. I love how sparkly and glittery it is, and how metallic it looks. And she's just got the open mouth smile mold. Now the outfit is like my most favorite thing ever on the planet. As soon as I saw leaks for this and I saw her full outfit, I was completely shocked, and I really, really wanted to get this doll. She seems to have this kind of like multi-layered, like different fabric kind of like overshirt with like a collar and kind of like puff sleeves a little bit. And it's got this like sheer kind of like ruffled at the bottom, like lacy, like detailing and whatnot. And then underneath she seems to be wearing a like kind of like crop top with like these green and black sleeves, and they are mesh as well. And then she's got on this kind of like multi-layered, very mini skirt. It's very cutesy, it's well constructed, it has a little silver stud right over here to simulate like a button and whatnot. And I was really surprised to learn that she can articulate her elbows and whatnot. I just thought that she couldn't articulate because they already like, I guess, spent so much money like on the gimmick and whatnot. But yeah, her elbows are articulated, and I will show that off later because I can't really move her joints one-handed at the moment. But the stitching on that is very, very nice. And like I said, the multi-layered fabric of it all is just very, very pretty, and it looks really nice. It's just this kind of like darkish green layered on top of this really satiny kind of like seafoam green. And here we have a much more closer look at this kind of like Novi Stars thing that she's got going on. But before I show y'all that, she's just wearing these little like platform wedges, and just say RH on them with these little spikes and studs all over it. These little, it's kind of like gummy and transparent, which is really cute. But yeah, once you turn her upside down, they kind of start to look like a lava lamp almost. And that's really, really cool, honestly. I don't have another doll that can do that, you know what I mean? And it kind of reminds me of that one Novi Stars girl from like way, way back in the day, you know what I mean? And I just love how striking this doll looks. Like, she is just perfection. But I just hate that I had to go like to one of the stores on the boycott list to like go ahead and get this. Like I said, it's shady of them that they would even go so far as to make her an exclusive, because to that store, I mean, because who wouldn't want this like alternative looking diva, you know what I mean? She just looks like she's ready to like perform a Fifi Dobson song or like in some Avril Lavigne song at like a karaoke bar, you know what I mean? Like she's just that girl. And here we have the rest of her stuff. She comes with this really, really cutesy like swan mirror, and it looks like a really ornate, like almost like antique looking mirror, if I do say so myself. And like I said, it's just got a swan on it with a little bow, and it's like got that one little painted detail, and it's in this like kind of shimmery, shiny like blue. And then we have her hanging out with the rest of her friends with the little cell phone case. She also comes with this little like lip gloss, or like the exact liquid lip, I guess, that she's wearing right now. And this transparent rainbow high heart purse with these two little transparent straps. And this little tumbler with blueberries all over it. Very cutesy. And I will be keeping this background because look at how cutesy it is on the inside of this. She must be into like botany or something, because she's got a whole bunch of plants everywhere, and she's got this like, I guess, plant motif, like wallpaper and whatnot. Plants and music, it seems that she's into, because we got little vinyls over here, cherry blossom trees, a cactus, piano keys, her guitar, you know what I mean? Like, it's just giving. I love that we can see her little personality, like, I guess, like through this little like background in the box, because I'm not watching the Rainbow High show. I haven't watched it since like, what, the second season or whatever, because I mean, to be quite honest, it was never that good to me. You know what I mean? Like, sorry to everybody who really enjoyed it, but like I didn't. And that's okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like that I'm seeing bits and pieces of her personality, because obviously these are dolls and you make up your own personality like through play and through imagination, but it's very, very nice to see that she already has like like an established like interest in botany and like, you know, crystals and like music and whatnot. Very, very cutesy, because just looking at her, she just looks like a musician. She just looks like she belongs in like a punk rock girl band, you know what I mean? But yeah, really enjoying this diva, and I really, really, really hope that we get to see this character again. Maybe just not with like this gimmick, obviously, with like more articulation, but I think overall this design is like really, really, really superior, and she's kind of just eating, honestly. Like, just the execution of this in general just like has me so stunned, because like even the construction on like the different pieces of her outfit are just like knock it out of the park. You know what I mean? The construction of the outfits are kind of giving like old Mattel in a way / old MGA, but I'm not gonna bring the council into this today. But yeah, here we got that diva up close, serving you mug, serving you face. And those, like I said, those eyes are absolutely stunning and like very, very striking. And if y'all didn't know already, the Rainbow High dolls come with inset eyes. That's probably not a shocker to the rest of y'all who watch this channel, but like for the rest of y'all who haven't seen a Rainbow High doll eat this badly in forever, then, you know, here you go. They got acrylic eyes. I will say that this is the first Rainbow High doll that like I've really paid attention to and enjoyed / like gone out of my way to collect since like the blonde haired like chalk like hair doll or whatever. Just because that was really the last one that I was really like, oh, this design is really, really pretty, I want to have this in my collection. Because any other Rainbow High doll that I've seen anywhere else, like especially on like super clearance, just like hasn't done it for me. Like I haven't wanted to like get it, except for this diva over here who I've been putting off getting for months. Like I said before, I even tried to see if she was going to be affordable on eBay, and like absolutely the fuck not. She isn't, so I just went out and got her in the store like I've been fucking wanting to anyways, so judge me if you want to, I fucking guess. But this diva was, you know, completely worth the buy at least. Forgot to mention before, but the top of her little like puffy sleeved shirt is like plaid with like 2 different colored fabrics and whatnot. And like I said, this doll is just like incredibly perfect in terms of like design and overall just like vibe and whatnot. Everything from her hair to her face to her clothes and like even the gimmick honestly is really fun to me. I'm sure that these will be much more worth it on like an ultra clearance or like a big sale or whatever, because I got mine for about $27.99 and I can't remember if they originally retailed for that price, but yeah. I hope y'all divas like that video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye y'all, stay safe.